circle. So you already know that chord is this one, so this one is called chords. And then if you divide it into two parts, you'll have another line that is passes through the center of the circles. It will be always like that. And then if we create a triangle from the chord, half of the chord and the blue line, we'll have a triangle like this, and it is right triangle. If we zoom in, you will have this triangle, and because that is a right triangle, that means we can use Pythagoras theorem. In this case, it will be db square plus od square equals to ob square. Equal chords of a circle are equidistant from the center of the circle. So if you have two chords like AB and also CD, and both of them is equidistant. Equidistance means they are in the same distance from the centers, like this. This is D and this is D. If the distance is the same, that means the length of the chord will be also the same. Let's say this one is 5 centimeters, the other one will be 5 centimeters also. So keep that in mind, just in case you will need that later in the calculation. So basically for the chords, you only have to use Pythagoras theorem, or maybe if the question is complicated enough, you can use the sine, cos, and tangent ratio. Yeah. So to understand the concept of the chord, let's take a look at these example questions. AB and CD are two parallel chords with a circle with center O, and then we have AB equals to 30. All of them is already labeled in the image, so you can see the image directly. And then the question wants you to find the radius. Okay, because the radius is not drawn in the image, let's draw it first like this. So we already know that this one is the radius. And then using the definition of chords, we do know that this 30 will be divided into two equal parts, which is 15, and then this one will be perpendicular. That means if we take a look at closely for this triangle, I will redraw the triangle like this. The triangle is O, B, and maybe X for this one. We'll have 20 for these sides and 15 for these sides, and the radius will be right there. To find the radius, you only have to use the Pythagoras theorem, which is a square plus b square equals to c square. That means 20 square plus 15 square equals to r square. So this is 400 plus 225 equals to r square. 625 equals to r square. That means square root of 625 equals to r. That means the r equals to 25 centimeters. That's it for question A. For question A, we have 25 centimeters as the radius. Okay, next is the perpendicular distance between AB and CD. Okay, I will erase this one first. The perpendicular distance between AB and CD will be this one. That means we have to find this first, the x. We have to find the x. Because we already know the radius before, I can draw it like this. So this is 25, and then as usual we can divide the chords into two equal parts. So this one is 24, and then we can find the value of x using Pythagoras theorem. So let's use this triangle. Let me draw it for you. So I have this triangle right now. This one is x, this one is 25, and this one is 24. A square plus b square equals to c square. So x square plus 24 square equals to 25 square. X square plus 576 equals to 625. So the x square equals to 625 minus 576. you'll have 49, so x equals to square root of 49, so x equals to 7. That means the x equals to 7. Let me erase all of them. So the x equals to 7. Therefore, the perpendicular distance between the AB and CD will be 20 plus 7. 20 plus 7 equals to 27 centimeters. So that is how you answer these example questions. Okay, next is example question 2. In the diagram, M is the midpoint, blah 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 blah, perpendicular bisectors, not important. Given that, that is important, but we already know that the blue line is perpendicular bisector with the red line, yeah. So yeah, it's already shown in the image, so the sentence is not too important. Given that AB equals to 8, because AB equals to 8, we can divide it into 2 equal parts. That means this one is 4, my bad, this one is 4, and that one also 4. Next is MQ. The MQ equals to 2. Wait, doesn't make sense. MQ, oh, MQ is this one, this small line, the short line equals to 2. That means we don't know this one yet. Let's label it as X. Okay. Or maybe we can do this. Wait, let me draw it for you. So let's say this one is R. That means this one also R, and that also means this one will be R minus 2, right? Because this is 2, this one R, that means this line will be R minus 2. Okay, and then I will redraw the triangle. It's like this. This one is right angle, this one is 4, this one is R minus 2, and this one is R. Let's use Pythagoras theorem to solve this. A square plus B square equals to C square. The A square is 4 square. The B equals to negative R minus 2 square. The C will be R square. So this one is 16. This one you have to expand it like this, equals to R square. And then you will do the multiplication. R square minus 2R minus 2R. And then this one is plus 4, just like that, equals to R square. And then you will move, I will move this R square to the right hand side. So you'll have 16 plus 4 equals to 20, and then negative 2R equals to negative 4R equals to R square minus R square. That means 20 minus 4R equals to 0. And then I will move the 4R, it will become positive. The R is 20 divided by 4 equals to 5. So this is the radius. Okay, the question only wants you to find the radius, so we already found it, which is 5. Okay, next is the properties of angle in a circle. First is angle at the center and angle at the circumference. So I will explain which one is angle of angle at the center. Angle is at the center is an angle attached to the center of the sectors. Yeah, so the blue one. For the angle of circumference, it's the angle attached to the circumference in the circle. And then for this one also the same, but this one is more bigger. This one is the angle at the center, and this one is the angle at the circumference. Okay, so I want to explain that both of them is corresponding each other because they are facing the same arc. So as you can see, these blue sectors and the red one is facing the arc of AB, and this one also the same, they are facing the arc of AB, but this one is greater. Okay, so I will call them as corresponding angle at the circumference and at the center. This one very important, guys. You have to know which one is the corresponding angle at the circumference and at the center. And then the connection between the angle of center and circumference is the angle of centers will be always 2 times the angle of circumference. So this is the formula for angle at the center and angle at the circumference. And then next is angle in semicircle. Angle in a semicircle, actually angle at the circumference and angle at the centers is the same, yeah, but this one is more specific, since the angle at the center will be always 180 degree. The angle of semicircle will be always 90 degree. Example question 1. Let's apply all of the formulas we already learned before in this example question. Okay, so we only have 2 formulas in this section. Angle of center equals to 2 times circumference and semicircle equals to 90 degree. I will show you how to use this formula in each of the example questions. So first, if we take a look at the circles, we have the angle of center and also the corresponding angle of circumference. How do I know? To make it easier, I will highlight the angle of center with blue lines. The angle of the center will be this one. Okay, and then you have to notice that the sector facing AB as the arc. Okay, and then I will highlight the circumference, the angle of circumference, using the red line, and also the red line facing the same arc. That means they are corresponding. If they are corresponding, that means this formula is applied. So the angle of center, which is 120 degree, equals to 2 times the angle of circumference. The angle of circumference in this question is labeled as x. That means x equals to 120 divided by 2, and the result is 60 degree. Okay, so the value of the x equals to 60 degree. Next, question B. For question B, we also have the angle of center, angle at the center. It's facing the arc of AB, and then we have the angle of circumference, this one, because it touched the circle, and also the angle of circumference facing the arc of AB. Because they are facing the same arc, that means the formula is applied. So the angle of center is 120 degree, equals to 2 times the angle of circumference, which is x. So x equals to the same, 120 divided by 2, it will become 60. So I give you the same value of angles so that you can compare it with the previous question. Okay, next is C. We have this image of a circle. So we have angle of centers, which is 120. I want to show you something in this questions. 120 facing AB as the arc, and also we have, oh my bad, should be blue for the angle of center. Okay, for the angle of circumference, this one is angle of circumference, obviously, because it touched the circle, but unfortunately for this one, it's facing the AB but in the opposite ways, yeah, so they are not corresponding. To make it corresponding, I will use this angle of center. So to find this, I just subtract 360 minus 120, you have 240 as the angle. So this one is 240, and the angle of the the angle of the, not sectors, the angle of the center is facing this arc right now. It's the same with the angle of circumference. It's facing the same arc. That means the formula apply. The angle of center is 240 equals to 2 times the angle of circumference, which is x. So the x equals to 240 divided by 2 equals to 120. So it's 120 for this question. And then next, this one, we have the angle of center. The angle of center is called x in these questions. It's facing the arc of AB, and also we have the angle of circumference. It is 50 degree, and this one also facing the same arc. That means the formula will be applied. The angle of center this time is x equals to 2 times the circumference. The circumference is 50, so x equals to 100 degree. Next is this one. So for this one, we have the angle of circumference. We don't have the angle of centers actually, and the angle of circumference facing AB as the arc, and also we have another angle of circumference, which is this one, the x, and the x also facing the arc of AB. Because they face the same arc, that means the measurement of the angle will be the same, because they also have the same angle of centers. That means x equals to 50. Okay, actually to solve this, you have to find the angle of center first. Let's try to find the angle of center. The angle of center equals to 2 times 50 equals to 100, and then we have this angle of center 100, and then we will use another formula for this one. So angle of center is 100 equals to 2 times the x. That means x equals to 100 divided by 2 equals to 50. But we don't have to do this, since we already know that if the angle of circumference facing same arc, that means the angle will be also the same. So the angle of x, or the value of x, will be the same with the 50. Okay, for this one, I think we can find this angle. Do you know what is the measurement of that angle? I will give you some time to think. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Okay, time is up. That one is 90 degree. Do you know why? Because that is the semicircle angle. So how do you know that that one is semicircle angle? Because you have a diameter right here as the angle at the center, which is 180 degree, and this one is the angle of circumference. That means 180 equals to 2 times the angle of circumference. So the angle of circumference will be 90 degree. Or if you already know that this one is diameters, and that means this one will be called semicircle angle, and the semicircle angle will be always 90 degree. So that one is 90 degree. If that one is 90 degree, that means this one also 90 degree. That means to find the value of x, you only have to minus the 180 with 50 and 90, since the sum of angle in a triangle is 180 degree. So the answer will be 40. If this one is 40, that means this one is 90 minus 40. Since this one is 90 degree, that means this one is 50. And to find the y, you only have to minus 180 with this one, 90 minus it again with 50 equals to 40. So the y equals to 40, x equals to 40, y equals to 40. And then the last question, G. For this one, I think I can see circumference angle at the circumference right here, and it's facing AC as the arc. And then I also can see the I can see the angle of centers, this one, and the angle of centers also facing the same arc with the 50. That means these rules will be applied. The angle of center equals to x, 2 times the angle of circumference is 50 degree. That means the x equals to 100 degree. Okay, after we have 100 degree, I will replace this by 100. And then I want you to see this triangle. To find the value of the y, you can use this triangle. This one is the radius, and this one also radius. That means this one is same length, like this. We already know that when you have an isosceles triangles, this one is called isosceles triangles, right? That means the angle of this one will be the same. So if one of them is y, the others will be also y. So to find the y, you only have to add y plus 100 equals to 180 degree. So 2y equals to 80, 180 minus 100. So y equals to 80 divided by 2 equals to 40. So y equals to 40 degree. There you go, guys. This is the next chapters, part 1. We will continue to the part 2 later in the next video. If you cannot understand some of the explanation, you can ask me later in the class. Yeah, thank you guys. See you. Bye bye.